Dear Masculine, I don't know if by the time that you receive this message from me in 5D or 3D, where you will be. I have observed your delightfully human cycles and my own as well for long enough to know that it is time to release this rope around my ankle and let myself free fall into the wishing well. To embrace the energy of the Fool that is all around us and to have complete faith in spirit. To leap and know that the net will appear. Because, Masculine, I am seeing how there are so many moments all around us. They're unpredictable. They are predictable. They are imperfectly perfect. Comparably incomparable. And I know that all of the contrast is what helps us grow. And so it is with that that I embrace the light, the dark, the shade, the tint, the hues, and I learn to embrace my journey of deliciousness while having faith that you are too. Because you see, Masculine, I have finally come to a place where the energy within me like a phoenix rises. It drives me, it pushes me. It has shown me my own strength. I know that life is full of joy and pain, sunshine and rain, and I am feeling that call to pump it up, to walk it back to that baseline, to let it all burn up, because I know that once it all burns up, there is now free soil where everything can grow. And I've been thinking, dear DM, most especially about your current lesson of hubris and humility. Our lesson, really, though I feel like I'm in a space where I could much more play with how much I want to take in versus having some sort of need to drive me to have to do it for our connection. For DM, I know that there is this place in you through which it is somewhat my fault that you have come to believe that my actions have been a weakness, that my vulnerability with you, that my love for you, that my drive to help you connect with yourself and spirit and to play with me has somehow become this misinterpreted energy of me somehow coming across as not seeing my own worth, as just carelessly going about things and pushing you away as if I had no thought to what I might lose when you are in other dimensions and spinning and pulling my vibration down with you. And dear DM, as much as that can be an interesting energy, that's not one that we're going to stay and play in from here on out. For yes, did I have some moments where I recognized that I am deliciously human? Yes. Did I realize that I have flaws too, and that sometimes as a divine feminine, as an empress, as an ego blended being, that I can be too hot to handle? Yes, I recognize that. Though did I ever come to a point where I felt like it was acceptable for you to mistreat me, to deceive me, to feel like the grass must be greener anywhere but where you water it? No. At least that was never my intention. And I can see through the beauty of this fiery energy that it is time, masculine. It is time for me to release you to recapture your own divinity and for me to rise. For I have found that through our cycles that I rise in the still moments, that I rise in the moments when I connect with my tribe, my divine brothers and sisters and family, that I rise in the chaos and circusry, that I rise in the joyful moments. I rise, I rise, I rise. No matter what life throws at me, I rise. And like a phoenix, sometimes I rise so high in the sky that I become one with the sun. And it all burns away until I am reborn into the same and yet a new being. And now I feel that moment within me happening, and rather than where I was before, where I was afraid that if I got too high, if I rose too much, that I would leave you behind, now I know that can never be true. So I allow myself to rise. I allow myself to stand, not just stand in my power, to love in my power, to lust in my power, to laugh in my power. For in this energy that divine is bringing to me, I can see how much fun it is going to be for me to genuinely rise. To remove the training wheels and take off the floaty wings and and dive into the deepest steps of the ocean and fly up into the sun and allow myself to enjoy both. To allow my career aspirations to take off, to allow the music to guide me, to allow the signs and synchronicities to delight me. For dear masculine, if you think that what you've seen from me, while I have been holding myself back to wait for you, to care for you, to pray for you, you haven't seen anything yet. I haven't even fully shown myself. I'm coming into that place where I can embrace that I am anything I want to be, everything I want to be, that all those goals and aspirations, all that fun that I've wanted to have, I am now ready for it. And while I mostly thank myself in spirit for that, I thank you too, because of how you have been like the fool reversed most of the time. You have helped me see you and see me. And you have helped me set myself free. Blazing trails behind me, knowing that they will not destroy, and that which is destroyed will be reborn, will grow more, will make room for new. Just like how the vulture comes in and cleans up the remains so that it can again become soil. Everything is moving. Everything has a rhythm. Everything has dance steps, and they're not always the same, and they're not always known, but if you listen, you can catch the flow at any moment that you want to. And I am so enjoying the deliciousness of learning each little dance step and how to listen to when the trees and the wind and the sun and the moon tell me whether to cha-cha or foxtrot or swing or do the electric slide. And now my guides bring me visions of me glowing up, of me accepting that I can be that loved, that I deserve that energy, that I can have fun doing anything that brings me joy. That my life is what I make of it, and the only rules necessary are the ones I want. And even those aren't really necessary. It's just there to decide what kind of contrast I want to experience this time. And then the visions flow in, and they are so delicious because my twin, I know that I have embraced my healing to enough of a space that I am starting to feel that Zen point where I am genuinely doing things for me. And that's when the real savory, juicy, delicious visions come in, where I know that I watched you, dear masculine, get so adorably jealous and envious, not of me interacting with other masculines, but of me glowing up, being authentic, being more mature, being classy, being a lady. Gathering community of people on both sides of our communities wanting to come to me through no force of my own. And so I know through what you have shown me that not only are you watching, but that you are amazed by me. And that if something so small as me taking those first baby steps, like a baby giraffe who's just been dropped 6 feet from its mama's womb and learns to walk within a few hours and then to run, then just imagine, masculine, when I realize that I am a being so divine that I can shapeshift and then turn into a bird that already knows how to fly. A woodpecker that already knows where to find the juiciest grubs in the tree that no one else can hear or see. Imagine my masculine, me on TV, me on radios, me with my books on the shelves, me helping people find themselves. Imagine all the things that we used to playfully talk about that we wanted for our lives, and I am building it for me. I love these visions so much because I can sit in the still point, in the middle, in the Zen point, where I can enjoy knowing that it is for me and that I am loving it, no matter where you are on your journey, on our journey, on any of it. And also know with complete faith that that is exactly the thing that pulls you to me every time. Something I only barely saw before this separation. Before, when I knew I had self-worth, though I gaslit myself into believing it wasn't that much, that I wasn't worth that much, that if you weren't choosing me, if you weren't seeing me, that I was somehow not being chosen and not worthy. Though now I have learned the absurdity of that. And also that the only being who needs to choose me is me. And when I do that, I see, I feel, and I rise. And I rise some more, and I rise some more. And as we near the Dragon's Gate, I am excited for all of the pleasantly unexpected surprises, the joyful amazement, the contrast that life is bringing to me, because I am now open to it. Because I know that magic and miracles often happen in the mundane, in the menial moments that we don't expect them to. most especially when we stop seeing them as menial or mundane. When we recognize that, yes, life is full of joy and pain, sunshine and rain, and we can dance through it all if we want to. We can also choose to have a fit, our own personal tantrum, when the moment feels right, because we are delightfully human. And I look forward to knowing that as I swim, as I dance, as I fly, as I stumble through learning each of the rhythmic dance steps that come towards me, that I get to enjoy the glory of all that life has to offer, big and small. And I love knowing that throughout it all, you're going to be sitting there feeling my soul singing to you. Don't believe me? Just watch.